Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard, and we're back out here at Pipeline for the first time in what, almost half a year. I've been meaning to get back out here, but I figured wait until we had a tournament out here or something like that and give the course some time to clear up after the hurricane. But playing a tournament this weekend. This one's going to be interesting because first round we're going to be playing the whites, which is the middle tees. Then we're going to be playing the blues, which is the long tees out here. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know I'm trying to shoot a 1,000 rated round. And this is going to be a good chance for me to do it because this is one of the first courses I played in this series that's not basically a birdie or die course. So from the shorts, I would assume a 7 or an 8 would be a 1,000 rated round. And then from the longs, I'm assuming somewhere around even par, maybe 1 or 2 under, 1 or 2 over, something like that. Should be at about 1,000 rated. For this practice round, I'm just going to be playing the blues just to get that one warmed up because that's the one I know I'm going to need the most help with. Getting into hole 1, got a par 4, 504 feet. Basket is down this way, tucked off to the right, way up a hill. So off the tee, we're really just trying to throw it almost pin high and then hopefully giving ourselves a really easy and simple approach shot into the green. I like to go with the back end, like flex shot or flip up to turnover shot. If I want to miss, I want to miss off to the left. So I'm going to try and go with something that I can hyzer flip to flat, but hopefully not flip up and turn over too much. I also will be throwing 2 off first tee because I'm not warmed up at all. Get off that tree. Oh, it did. Oh, and I hit another one. That's not bad though. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to get up and down for birdie from there, but that's going to be a really good spot. Okay, so from here you can barely see the red basket between these 2 trees up here. I'm like just far enough away to where I'm really not super comfortable with trying to go for the birdie. So would I go for this in the tournament? Probably not, but this is a practice round, so I might as well give it a shot at least. This is just one of those shots where I've got to make sure if I miss long, because if I throw it short and it rolls back down the hill, it's going to be very, very annoying. Holy crap. That worked out so well. Okay. So I didn't take my advice. I did not go long with the basket. If anything, I'm 25 feet short, but I gave myself a birdie putt on this hole, which is not a very common thing. I will take it. Even being this close to just lay up for par is not bad at all. Let's go and get the birdie though. Nope. Ugh. Oh, good layup. All right, guys, so for hole 2, we got a par 3, 390 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked off to the left. On the side of the hill, best play typically is to throw something either on hyzer out to the right or something overstable out to the right and have the disc fade into the gap, but keep pushing forward as it's fading so it gets up there into the green. I got 2 discs I want to try on this one. One overstable rapture and then one rapture that should kind of flip a little bit, but still have an overstable finish at the end. So, because I think the overstable rapture is a much more safe play because I know it's not going to go to the right unless there's like a ripping headwind. But the more understable rapture has a better chance of getting into the green. So I'll go with the overstable rapture first. Yeah. That's short, but that's very safe, and that's going to give me like a 70 to 80 foot approach shot into the green. Let's see what the flippier one does. Oop. Close. That's more overstable than I give it credit for. Okay, so my first rapture ended up right here, and this is exactly where I want this to end up. I might be inside a circle too, actually, but with being as uphill as it is, I'm not going to be able to really jump at this. A little short, but that's still like a 15-footer. All right, guys, we're on hole 3. This one's a par 3, 305 feet, which is pretty much a lie. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but the basket's straight ahead, tucked into the tree line across this opening you can see in front of us. But the hardest part about this shot, as you can tell, is because the But the hardest part about the shot, as you can probably guess, is the ground is sloped up right in front of the basket to where you can't throw like a stock shot. You have to throw it a little bit higher than you want to. But as long as you get out of the gap off the tee, you're pretty much going to have some kind of look at birdie, and you'll probably have an easy par. It's just getting off the tee is going to be the hard part. I didn't turn that at all. Got to go something more understable. I'm going to throw another one. There it is. So yeah, from here you can really see what I was talking about, where with my first shot, that pink one, I didn't do anything I wanted to do, but I'm in circle 2 and have a jump putt. As long as I focus on really just hitting that gap off the tee, not really concerning myself where the disc goes after that, we can get a par. Yep. All right, guys, we're on hole 4. This one's a par 3, 507 feet. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's down here straight ahead. We're tucked slightly off to the left. But I got 3 different discs I want to try for this one. I've got a more stable distance driver, less stable distance driver, and then a less stable fairway driver. The fairway driver is going to be more of a layup play, and then the 2 distance drivers are just to see which stability works better for this tee shot, or at least going for the green on this hole. Nope. I didn't commit to it. I would have done it too. Oh, it's not going to hit anything. I didn't get a hold of that one because I forgot how hard it is to commit to a full drive on this tee pad. Let's see. All right, for the fairway, similar thing to the pink one. There's just no trees. They don't exist on that left side. But that's what I was hoping out of the fairway driver. Like, even though I didn't commit to it as well, because I'm throwing it so far downhill and I'm getting that nose down, it's just going forever. So odds are I'll probably go with the fairway driver just because I feel a lot more comfortable doing that. But if it gets a windy, I might step up to a distance driver. Go. Keep going. No, stop. Okay, I will take it. Fade. Come on. Oh, man. All right, guys, we're on hole 5. This one's a par 3, 199 feet. Just straight ahead, right there. Probably one of, if not the easiest holes in the course, but I've seen people take big numbers on this hole before. Like every other hole in this course, the main thing is really just trying to get off the tee, get there as far as you can. I got 2 of my flippier putters. I just want to throw them on a touch of hyzer straight at the basket and try and give them a good amount of height. Get through. Oh, that got lucky. Nice. That'll be like a 30-footer probably. This one isn't quite as flippy, so a little bit less hyzer. Now it might be as slippy as that white one. Oh, I pulled it off the tree. Oh, dang it. All right, guys, so for hole 6, we got par 3, 328 feet. This is where we start to get into the section of course where you can see the damage the hurricane really did, because if you go back and watch my old videos, this used to be the most wooded section of the course almost, and now it's almost the most open. Luckily, the trees that make up the gap are still there, so this hole really hasn't changed too much. The only thing that's really changed is the fact that scrambling on this hole is going to be a lot easier than it used to be. But for my tee shot, I want to go with the flippy fairway driver at this tree, get it to bend off of it to the right, and then flatten out and push straight towards the basket. There, I've got like a 30-foot putt, whereas before I would have kicked left and been like 150 feet from the basket and had no way to get up and down. So I forgot to hit record, but this was about where I ended up. All right, guys, we're on hole 7. This one's a par 3, 312 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked off to the right. You have to throw a forehand on this hole. There's no other way to get to the basket. There's no way to get a backhand that'll flip that late and then drift to the right far enough to get to the basket. And the ground's also sloping away behind the basket, so if you did have any forward momentum in that shot, it was going to go down the hill and probably go to hole 5's fairway. So yeah, all I want to do is take a distance driver, throw it on a forehand. As long as it gets through the gap, I don't really care where it goes. If it's early, left, right, wherever, as long as I'm through the gap, I can at least have a chance to get up and down. Oh. Okay, didn't roll. All right, guys, so for hole 8, we've got a par 3, 350 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked off to the left. Well, kind of. The fairway goes off to the left, but then the basket's tucked to the right. But what I do is take a flippy fairway driver, throw on some hyzer, get the flip, but not all the way to flat, and let the disc coast to the left. Once it gets about like 120, 150 feet down the fairway, if I do it really well, I can give myself like edge of circle or like a circle 2 putt for birdie. But it's mainly just, but I like that play because it takes the rough on the right side of the fairway out of play. Because if you want to be anywhere, you want to be on the left side of the fairway, so that way you have a chance to get up and down for par. Whereas if you're on the right, you have no shot at all. But I have just 2 discs I want to throw. I'm gonna go with the Oasis Enoch first, or Oasis Arc first, and then we'll throw the NT Enoch. Ah, I pulled it. Oh, that sucked. That's better. That's still too far to the right. Yeah, I've got to hug the inside more. I'll throw one more. One thing I'm trying not to do during this practice round is leave a hole without throwing the shot I want to throw. Because one thing I really want to start doing is just having that shot that I threw well fresh in my mind. And so if I throw 2 shots like that and don't know what it feels like to throw a good shot, then what's the point in practicing? That should be better because that one's more overstable. Yeah, that's in the middle. I'm just pulling it too far to the right. So I'm scared of throwing it early. There it is. That's the shot. So I don't know if I'll go with that Enoch or not, because that did fly a lot better than I thought it would. But I might do that one because that one doesn't like to flip as much as the other one does. Oh, wow. I really hope that came through on camera because I hit the tree directly in front of me. It kicked me left and then went through a completely different gap than I wanted to go through. Whew. Get in the bucket. Come on. Ooh, never mind. Nice. All right, guys, we're on hole 9. This one's a par 4, 512 feet. Off the tee, we've got to hit this gap and then have something that'll move to the right while still pushing up the hill. From there, depending on how far you get up the hill, you could have a look to get up and down for birdie, but for me, odds are I'm going to have to pitch something up into the fairway and then hopefully give myself like 150 to 200 foot approach shot into the green. But that doesn't matter right now. Right now, I've got to focus on just trying to get through this gap and finish to the right. I don't want to throw a forehand because you need something that'll push through the gap and turn to the right. If you throw a forehand and have something that just finishes straight right, you're going to end up in the rough on the right, which is not a good place to be. If I want to make a mistake, I want to just go just dead straight or finish a little bit off to the left. But I've got a flippy fairway driver and a flippy distance driver. Curious to see which one will work better. I know the fairway driver is going to turn through the gap and hold the turn, but I'm curious to see if I can get more distance out of the distance driver and have that same line. Nope, needed more hyzer. Yeah, that kicked right. Oh, that did it. I still missed the gap. Even with that kick, that's still really good. Uh-oh. Ugh, dang it. Well, nice part is I don't have to move y'all in order to record this shot. Spike. Yeah, that's good. Dadgummit. I hate it when I roll my wrist like that. I get so confident in my forehand and I do something like that. I'm like, oh, shoot, there it goes. Or hit the one. Drop. Oh, no. I was hoping it would flip out and somehow fall in. Getting into the back nine, we've got hole 10. This one's a par 3, 350 feet. This one's probably the most simple hole in the course. And oh, the tree that is like directly in the middle of the gap that you always hit whenever you felt like you threw a good shot is gone. So I'm not going to say this hole got easier, but this hole definitely got a lot simpler because you can just throw an overstable fairway driver down that way and let it just finish off to the left. There's a chance I could need to step up to a distance driver, but I think fairway driver is going to be the best play for me. Yeah, that's great. Maybe a little short, a little left, but that'll probably be a circle 2 putt. I'll try a fairway or a distance driver just to see how that feels. Oh, I pulled it. Oh. Apparently that's the line. Oops. Okay, so I ended up rolling down here to the right side of the fairway. Not a bad spot, aside from the fact I'm going to have to put on top of these logs, but I'm probably going to, yeah, I probably would have been a little bit farther away and probably had a few trees in my way from up on top of the hill, so not bad at all. I have to do like a Kevin Jones jump putt. Oh, that would have been sick. All right, guys, so we're on hole 11. This one's a par 4, 450 feet. Basket's down this way, tucked slightly off to the left. But off the tee, we're just trying to throw something just dead straight that finishes off to the left. And I mean, as long as you hit the gap, you'll pretty much be guaranteed to have some kind of birdie look. But odds are it's going to be like an obstructed 150 to 200 foot approach shot into the green. I've been trying to go with the fairway driver recently, just so that way it's easier to hit the gap. But going distance driver is just so much more fun and interesting on this hole because you can get down there for an eagle putt if you throw it well. But I'm going to go with the fairway first and then we'll try the distance drivers. Turn. Nope. Dang it. I like that on my hand. All right, let's see. I'll go with the Rapture first because that one I can throw flat. Throw similar to how I just threw that arc. Oh, dang it. For the slingshot, you throw in a little bit of hyzer, let it pop up, and then ride right. That wasn't good anyway. All right, one more. Let me go with my slightly less stable arc. It hit something late, but that's a lot better. I wanted to go with the more stable one because I was worried it would kind of do that where it would just kind of flip up and ride too far to the right, but it did a really good job. So it's another one where I'll have to see what the wind's doing but I really like that Oasis one more for this line. Okay, so luckily I ended up like 50 feet in front of the short tee, so I've got a line to get to the basket. Only hard part is going to be I have to throw a pushing hyzer because I need something to go really far and then fade hard to the left to get up there to the basket. Granted, if I hit short, I should be all right, but I'd like to get up on top of the terrace where the basket is so I can have a more stress-free putt. I'm going to go with the fairway driver. That should flip just a little bit. This might be too much disc, but oh well. Oh, it slipped out. Holy crap. And it's parked. All right, guys, we're on hole 12. This one's a par 3, 391 feet. Basket's down here, tucked off to the right. Off the tee, all I'm really trying to do is just chip a forehand down there to next to this group of trees right here. And then from there, I'll have either some kind of forehand approach shot or just a jump putt into the green. But I've got my two overstable Raptures. Throw both of them on forehands out to the left, let them crash in. I'm tempted to go with the straight one first, but I'm gonna go with my more overstable one because it should skip a little bit better and it'll finish farther to the right for me. So we'll go with that first and then we'll throw the less stable Rapture. I roll my wrist, but that disc doesn't really care if I roll it much. That's fine. It's not where I want to be, but that's like 120 feet into the green. Didn't roll that one. That's much better. Yeah, that's really good. I'm gonna go with that one for sure. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, guys, we're on hole 13. This one's a par 3, 328 feet. Basket's down here, tucked off to the left, but all you really need to do is just throw a dead straight shot, and you'll get yourself to like a 25-ish footer, something like that. Main thing to pay attention to, though, is we have OB all along the left side, all the way down next to the basket, which really shouldn't come into play unless you hit something and kick left, because you're not really trying to throw anything overstable on this hole unless you're trying to park the basket. But I got both my Enox and an NT Arc. I think I'm gonna go with the NT Arc as my main shot. Really just trying to throw it at this tree in the middle of the fairway and hope I miss it on either side. It's not high enough. Ooh, I think I heard it touch that tree. This brown Enox should flip a little bit for me and then have a stable finish. That's really good. The only thing is the Enox just not quite fast enough to get all the way up to the green on that line. That's why I want to do it with the Arc. Oh, nope. Early released it. Okay, so the Enox is actually a lot closer than I was thinking. It's probably just outside of Circle 1. I don't know if you can see it or not on camera or not, but it's right up there between these two trees. So, like, it's really not a bad play. The only reason I would go with the Arc is just to, park the basket pretty much. It'll probably depend on what point in the round, but I'm going to be definitely leaning towards the Enoch a lot more. Or just yank it and park it. All right, guys, we're on hole 14. This one's a par 3, 315 feet. Once again, that is a lie. This hole is probably closer to 400, maybe even more than that, feet up the hill, way off to the right. I'm going to take an overstable distance driver, throw it to the left gap high, and just try and chip up into the middle of the fairway. Hopefully give myself less than 100 feet into the green. We'll see how this goes. I might try a fairway driver if this is too much disc for the shot. I don't know. I haven't thrown this in a long time. This is the disc I threw last time I played this hole, so I'm hoping it'll do the same thing, but my forehand has gotten better. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that's great. Right in the middle. Okay, so I probably should have thrown a second one with the less stable Rapture, because if I could have gotten a little bit farther forward, I'd have more of a open backhand line to the green. But from here, I pretty much, I mean, I can throw backhand, but I'm having to throw a slight turnover that's going really far uphill. So it's not exactly a comfortable shot. I mean, the forehand's not really either, but this is a lot simpler than that backhand. So we'll try this, and then maybe we'll try the backhand. Ah, it's inside. That might be a putt. That's good, but that's really short. Like that might not even be at the side of the circle. Okay, so my forehand's not as bad as I thought it might be, but got a straddle putt. Oh, this is actually better over here. Sorry. I don't feel like moving the camera again, so now I'm just gonna have to watch me make it from over there. I found a metal mini on top of the basket. Nick Zemansky, I guess is how you say that. Yeah, reach out to me. I'll see if I can get this back to you. All right, guys, for hole 15, we got a par 3, 386 feet. You can see the basket straight ahead. And this is just a hole where you need to throw the straightest disc in your bag, just straight at the basket, and hope you get all the way down there. So I'm going with the mid-range, but I've seen people go with putters, fairway drivers, distance drivers, thumbers, forehands, backhands. It's whatever you feel comfortable throwing, just dead straight and downhill. Nope. It's close. If that was down the middle, that would have been good. I love that. That's great. That's putting for sure. Now, this is another situation where if this is the tournament, I'm probably just going to lay up. But this is a practice round, and I see a gap I can hit. So, see what happens. I can't see if that's near the basket or not, but I think it is. All right, guys, for hole 16, we got a par 3, 235 feet. I like to go with just a straight fairway driver. Just give it the height and let it push all the way up there. If you want to finish anywhere, you want to finish off to the left, I guess, but it really doesn't matter. There's trees kind of sprinkled around the basket, but there's not really a bad side of the green to be on. So all we really got to focus on is just hitting the gap and getting all the way up there. Oh, it's so close. Okay, I'm up there. So I'll have like a 100-foot approach shot into the green. I'll throw one more. Oh. There it is. Oh. Never mind, that's the one I'm gonna pier. Oh, I pulled it. I think that was a good tree. Okay, I'm not doing that again. That took me so long to find all those discs. The best shot I had was with that last one, the Glowasis Enoch. It ended up turning over or just pushing too straight and was like maybe just outside of circle 1 to the right. So I definitely think the arc is going to be the play for me on that tee shot. All right, guys, we're on hole 17. This one's a par 4, 614 feet. This is probably the hardest hole to birdie on the course, I would say. Maybe it's a tie between this one and 9, but I would say this one's the hardest one to birdie. And then 18 is probably one of the hardest holes in the course, just in the fact that, like, I've seen people take gigantic numbers on that hole. So it's a very, very, very tough finishing stretch. This can easily make or break your round. But off the tee, I need to throw a hyzer flip that'll turn late and drift to the right while pushing forward. If I do that, I can get out into the open and have a chance to get up and down for birdie. It's not a guarantee by any means if I do get out into the second fairway, but that's what I have to do in order to get myself in position to make a birdie. From there, I have to throw like either a high backhand turnover or a really hard thrown high forehand hyzer into the green. But if I want to make a mistake, I want to make sure that this doesn't flip all the way up and over. I want to make sure that it'll like flip up and just push straight if anything. But still got to hit the gap. It's too far to the right. Ugh, that's gonna suck. I'm gonna be on the side of the hill. I'll probably be able to pitch out into the second fairway though, so a par is possible from there. Tell you what, we'll try one more with a flippy distance driver. Same line, trying to hyzer out of the hand so we can get the push out there. Didn't hit anything. I liked that too because it flipped a lot slower. Like you could see it didn't get to anhyzer until it was already in the gap. So I actually like that a lot more than the fairway driver. Don't roll, thank you. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I don't know how far out I am, but that bridge you can see up there is like 20-ish feet from the basket. So if I throw anything in that ditch right there next to it, I'll have a putt, but it is so far. Not only are we going uphill, but we also have a headwind coming at us. So I think I'm just gonna lay up and then pitch up because that'll be, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be a double. That's a lot more aggressive than I meant for that to be. I actually have a chance to throw it in from there. Okay, so we're way closer than I was thinking. If I went with something even a little bit less stable, I could have got up in here and had like a edge of circle putt. But I'll take having this for sure. Let's go ahead and convert. Oh gosh. Whew. All right, guys, we're on hole 18, final hole of the video. This one is a par 5, right? Yeah, par 5, 784 feet. Fairway goes straight for about 400 to 450 feet. Then it bends off at about a 45-degree angle. You're going straight that way for about 350 feet. I don't know if that math adds up or not, but something in that ballpark. All I'm really trying to do is, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the short or the yellow basket right there, if I can get anything near that, that's a good place to end up, because then I can chip around the corner, hopefully be close enough to where I can throw my approach shot into the green, get out of here with a birdie. A lot easier said than done, but see what happens. I'm going to try a distance driver for my first shot. I trust this one to turn a little bit, but it should have an overstable finish near the end. So that's the main thing I need, is just to have it come back at the end, but I also need to hit this gap. Just like that. That's too low, unless it gets a good skip. Never mind. I'd be scared to throw that any higher, because that one I do trust to come back, and it could end up coming back too far and going in the rough on the left. So I'll try to step down in stability, throw this on some hyzer. Keep flipping. Keep flipping. Oh, that's so close. Oh, that's actually a good kick though. That's the shot if I want to get out there for like a really nice, like easy birdie look. All right, so I just counted the scores, and from what I'm looking at, I'm 5 over. My personal best right now is 6 over. So if I can par this, I can get out of here with my best round ever, which would be sick. But from here, I really don't have a good angle to attack unless I go for the gap just to the left of the basket right here. And I mean, it's not the biggest gap ever, but if I hit that gap, I'm going to be down there and I'm going to have a look to get up and down for birdie. So I don't see a reason not to do it. Just for some extra good luck, I'm going to go with the Rapture Josh gave me. Should push a little bit farther. Oh, I slipped. Where'd they go? Okay. Dang it. All right, so now if I want a par, I need to get aggressive on this shot. Luckily, it's not too difficult of a shot. Well, it's going to be difficult for me because I'm going to have to throw a forehand, maybe kind of flip shot. I think I can just throw the slingshot flat and I should be able to get to just drift to the left, at least a flex shot out of it, and just get myself down there. Okay, more of a flex shot. Oh, and I got a tree. Okay, we're down there. Okay, so that tree was a blessing and a curse. It's kept me from going into the rough, but it's going to make this shot a little bit more challenging than it needs to be. Well, actually, now that I'm standing behind it, it's really not in the way at all. If anything, it's just going to be something to get in my head. But yeah, I'm thinking just a slight flex with my more stable yellow arc. Oh no, I need to go. I'll go with my other arc because the main thing is I just don't want to end up throwing something that's just going to go straight. I need this to bend a little bit to the right. Other hand, and just make sure I get the height right. Oh no, I should have gone with the other arc. Okay, that's like a circle 2-putt. Oh. All right, guys, that finished up our round out here at Pipeline, and I gotta say that went way better than I was expecting. Because like I said, my personal best out here is 6 over. So coming out here after not playing it for more than 6 months and shooting my personal best or tie with my personal best is really nice. Especially considering I got all of those over par strokes on the hardest holes on the course. Half of them just being from one hole where I made just a bunch of really small, silly mistakes in a row. Those are the holes that I expect for something like that to happen. Granted, I don't expect a triple bogey, but I'm not surprised about a bogey or a double bogey on any of those holes. So if I can just keep those mistakes to a minimum and get a few more birdies on some of the easier holes in the course, I definitely think I could shoot closer to even, maybe even under par on a really good day. But I'm definitely thinking I need to shoot under par, at least 1, maybe 2 under par to get 1,000 rated round. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was 1 over, maybe 2, if some people play really bad. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to get out here because Pipeline's just a really fun course. It has something that I haven't really seen in a lot of other courses too, where you've got there's really tough wooded lines, but you've also got a ton of elevation change. At least I can't think of any other courses that are like that, especially at the difficulty of Pipeline. But it's always fun to come back to a course you haven't played in a long time and see how much you've improved. Because I can definitely feel my game has improved a lot over the last half a year. So y'all wish me luck during the tournament. I'll see if I can post the scores anywhere. Odds are I'll probably end up posting them on Instagram or something like that. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and y'all have a good one. Bye.